A lot of parents will likely have to face at some point allowance. When do you start and how much do you give? And here with more on helping us through that, the tough questions, is Mike Suttle, the president of the Suttle Financial Group. It's good to have you. Nice to talk about this subject because I know it's a topic that a lot of parents are going to be concerned about at some point or another.
Well, that's right.
Yeah. So we'll get to that in a second. First, though, I want a little background on the Suttle Financial Group.
Well, Suttle Financial Group was started here in Albuquerque about 2003. I started with E.F. Hutton back in about 1983. And I've been out here in Albuquerque since about 1986. We're a private practice and we work with individuals and families mostly.
Very interesting. We appreciate your wisdom in these areas. So the allowance portion of all this, when do you start paying your kids?
Well, you know, that kind of depends on the financial situation of each family, their budget, and so forth. You can start at a young age. By the age of 3, you can actually start talking to kids about things that cost money. You can't just have everything. And by the age of 4, you can begin talking about the difference between wanting and needing.
Now, I know in my case when I was younger, my parents didn't just hand me an allowance. It was something that I had to earn through chores. So is there something that you recommend as far as working at a young age for an allowance?
Well, you know, a lot of families feel that chores are a good way to start providing for an allowance. They might have regular chores, might provide an opportunity each week to earn additional money with additional chores. Some families, though, feel that chores are actually part of being part of the family. And in that case, you can find extra jobs for them to do. I have a client, for example, that offers his daughter 25 cents to 50 cents just to help wash the dishes.
Interesting. And on a daily basis, perhaps, or weekly basis.
Depends how much she wants to earn.
Now, the question then is, should that vary among ages? And you mentioned that a second ago. What should the allowance be for somebody who's maybe older who's helping with the dishes, or maybe somebody who's younger, like say 5, who's helping with dishes?
Well, you know, a lot of parents like to give their kids $1 for each age that their child is. So the older they get, the more they get. But again, that ties back to the family values, what kind of chores, and so forth. But there's no real set thing with that. It's just a matter of being consistent and helping them to understand. The key thing is to help them understand that money has to be earned.
It sure does. I mean, we all realize that at some point in life or another. It's good to teach it young.
That's right.
How can we teach about certain principles like that, about money? You mentioned 1 or 2, one maybe when they're 3 years old saying things cost money. How else can you teach them before they start getting an allowance that money has to be earned, as you're saying?
Well, by setting an example.
Yeah.
I think is a good idea. Parents can set an example that they understand that they need to earn money. They can budget. The kids can get involved in some of the budgeting. You can talk about those things. As they get a little bit older, you can help. They can help with paying bills, talking about the need to pay for services, talk about debt, talk about interest. You know, those kinds of things that can help get the kids involved at an early age with what the parents are doing, and help them understand that money is used for purposes.
All in all, it sounds like what you're saying is that this doesn't have to be as tough of a battle as it seems like it might have to be at some point.
No, but you know, keep in mind, kids are always going to want more, right? So no matter what you give them for an allowance, they're going to want more. So the key to that is ask them, what are they going to do to get more? In other words, helping them learn the important life skill of negotiation. In other words, what are you going to do different or more of, or whatever it is, to get that additional allowance? Why should I pay you more?
Because you're going to face that in the work world at some point.
That's exactly right. So that's a good time when they say, well, can I have more? You know, they always want more. It doesn't matter. So give them the opportunity to earn more.
Mike Suttle with the Suttle Financial Group, and I know you can help folks through this process if they would like, so you'll find more information to his group online at krqe.com. Mike, thanks.
Thank you.